500 pre-race show. Brought to you by Dodge and nearly 3,000 dealers who invite you to come see what's different.
And welcome to Daytona, one of the truly special places in sports. And these are the faces of some of the men who will decide the great American race, almost turning into superheroes when they step into their cars. The drivers' meeting moments ago, going over the rules, race procedure for the running of the Great American Race. A look at Jeff Gordon, two-time winner of the Daytona 500, blew an engine on Saturday. Will he be able to bounce back? History, speed, excitement, it's all here for NASCAR's biggest race. We're expecting one of the biggest crowds ever. Nearly 250,000 people packing this legendary speedway. And the pressure building, the track electric. In the end, we'll have one champion, one driver who will make his way through 42 other cars and 500 miles of track to decide who will win the Daytona 500. Hi, I'm Chris Myers from just above Victory Lane here at the birthplace of NASCAR in Daytona. And NASCAR is born again as Fox Sports begins its coverage of the Winston Cup Series. Joining Fox's coverage, the '89 Daytona 500 champ, Darrell Waltrip, his former crew chief who was with him then, Jeff Hammond. Gentlemen, I know you're excited about. I can feel the adrenaline.
Right.
Yeah. They're inseparable. It's tough to separate.
Hey, we did it once. We can do it again.
Are you going to be all right? Not being this first time you've come here and not been in the race.
Well, you know, being out on the racetrack, you got tunnel vision. You got a helmet on. You can't see where you. All you see is what's in front of you. Very seldom you see what goes on around you. That's the worst thing about being in the booth. Got all these cameras. Cars are, I mean, these guys are going to go wreck every time they go down the straightaway. It's breathtaking up there. I can't imagine what it's like out on the track this year.
All right, now, who calmed who down when you guys were getting ready for the race?
Wait a minute. Is there any kind of doubt who calmed who down right now, Chris? I mean, watch it, man. I mean, he always gets excited.
Oh,
and
man.
Look, I got the floor right now. Give me a break here. You've got to slow him down. You've always got to try to keep him under control. But he's always been a great champion.
I had the weight of the. I had to carry everything.
And you'll be,
him included.
You'll be carrying us today. ODW and Jeff, just a part of Fox's fantastic lineup. We kick off our Fox Watch now. I want to get you set with all the people who will bring you today's Daytona 500. Let's start up in the broadcast booth. A familiar voice for racing fans, Mike Joy, and a mechanic you can definitely trust, Larry McReynolds. Guys?
Well, thanks, Chris, and hello, everyone. The day that race fans have waited for all winter is finally here. But, Larry, these race teams have been working hard for this day now for many months.
Oh, even though it's the beginning of the 2001 season, they started way back in the middle of the 2000 season, June or July. But now what you've done, you've taken all the practice from the last week. You've taken your test results, your wind tunnel results. You've packaged it with what you think is your best engine, the best pit crew that's practiced all winter, and you brought it to the grid, the #1 race, the Super Bowl, the Daytona 500.
But how confident are you? 1/4 of the field changed engines today.
Well, that was unique. 43 starters and 10 teams elected to change their motor this morning. Not because they all had problems. Of course, Jeff Gordon lost the engine in happy hour, but a lot of them just wasn't happy. They got with their engine guys. They laid the dyno sheets out, said, well, we think what we give you was good, but this one's maybe a little better. Let's put it in. We got to give it all we got.
Well, let's get those stories in more detail, beginning with the editor of Speedway Illustrated, Dick Berggren.
Thanks, Mike. Today, Dodge will start the Daytona 500 for the first time in 18 years. They have done incredibly well in preliminaries. Bill Elliott won the pole for this race in a Dodge. Sterling Marlin won a 125-mile qualifying race, also in a Dodge. And Ward Burton, he's got one of the fastest cars in today's field. It is a Dodge. The Dodge boys have done their homework, and they've done a lot of it in a very short period of time. Are their cars good enough to win the Daytona 500? Maybe. Stick around. We'll see. To Steve Burns.
Hey, thanks, Dick. Jeff Gordon indeed has 2 Daytona 500 victories and was a solid favorite to bring home a third. But in that final happy hour practice yesterday, his Daytona 500 motor blew up and he brushed the wall. At 6 o'clock this morning, crew chief Robbie Lewis and the team agonized over which backup motor to put in. Have they made the right choice? We're about to find out, Matt Yoakum.
Steve, the Dodge boys swept the front row, but the sleeper in the field may be the Pontiacs. 1 week ago, Tony Stewart took home the big money in the Butt Shootout. Today, he leads a pack of fast Grand Prix trying to end a long Daytona 500 winless streak. And today, they're trying to steal the biggest headline of speed weeks. Jeannie?
All right, Matt, one man's pain is another man's opportunity. That is how Stacey Comden landed his primo spot on the outside pole. Now, it used to belong to Jerry Nadeau, but he was disqualified after his car did not pass inspection. Don't feel so bad for Jerry. He's back here in the 5th position, and his crew chief has assured me that if they make it to victory lane, this car will pass inspection. He said it's a poster car, Chris.
All right, thanks, Jeannie. Rick Hendricks saying that car is great on the longer run, so watch for that. All right, we're within an hour of the start of this thing, Darrell. What are the drivers? Yeah, you've done it 1,000 times, but this is the Great American Race. Are you nervous?
Yeah, you are. You always are, as a driver, you're always worried. If it's good, can it last? If it's bad, we got it all behind us. And, of course, you always got your trusty old crew chief over here telling you everything will be okay. He's been telling me everything will be okay for 11 days.
But you named your car. You said these guys have their own names for their cars.
Everybody names their cars. We had a car named Betty. They got one named Midnight. They got one named Kermit. They got one named Leroy. They got all kinds of names for cars. But in this race today, everybody's car, when they start, has got the same name, and it's Wilma.
Wilma?
Will my car make it? Will my car run? Will my car make it to victory
Well, you know your crew chief will be with you.
I told you, we got to keep the guy settled down already.
He needs
got to start on the race, and we got to settle him down. But if I'm a crew chief right now, I'm really kind of concerned about how much tension these guys are feeling. This is the first race of the year, and there's a lot of tension going through the garage area right now. On pit road, guys are anticipating the first pit stop, whether they've got everything ready. Is the car ready? Crew chiefs right now are having a hard time drinking a drink, much less eating any kind of lunch. So therefore, there's a lot of tension up and down pit road.
Wilma, and Will be. We know that Will be here and covering everything from down on the pits to around the track and through the garage area. So hurry back. All right, we're just getting cranked up. Here's what else is on tap.
Hi, I'm Dale Jarrett. Coming up on the one and only NASCAR on Fox.
Last year's 500 champ, Dale Jarrett, is looking for Daytona win number 4. But there's much more to Dale than just racing cars. Jeannie Zelasco raps with DJ about life on and off the track. And just like Fox, Joe Gibbs conquered football, then decided to give NASCAR a shot. Now he's got one of the most successful teams on the Winston Cup circuit with Tony Stewart and last year's champ, Bobby Labonte. Our Jeff Hammond talks with Joe. Then, ever wish you could take a ride around the track at Daytona? Well, so did Fox's Terry Bradshaw. He hooked up with none other than Dale Earnhardt. The 7-time Winston Cup champ takes our Super Bowl champ on a ride of his life. Hang on, because it's all coming up, coming at you on this one and only NASCAR on Fox pre-race show.